both of these teams are coming into this tournament with a lot of pressure, with a lot of ambitions, with a lot of revenge. But also, I think all of the teams just seems to be friends with each other. They do the walkouts together, they have their little dances, and it's so beautiful to see.
In a shrouded step on the other end, though, for BBL. They have
the
opportunities,
timing.
and still, the TP to spun Alkia. Counts the timing once again. Beautifully done, and that is a 1v2. For me, that's the Red Bull clutch. That high-low is still too good, and a crossfire even more beautiful for Crew Esports. And that only leaves one more. Wow, what a flick from Eva on that spike. Sticking it halfway, goes up for the swing, and lands that shot as well.
Eva!
She goes back into sight for BBL, so it has to be the showstopper, but it misses. Eva moving forward. All-star players so far, Seekers on the 1v1, and now we're jiggling on both ends. Another tap, play mind games, lands another shot, and BBL Queens take the first map. Wentz moves forward to trade it right back. The crossfire is still really nice though for Crew, and the advantage still continues, still remains for Crew. So Rolling Thunder, there it is. It's coming out right now. Showstopper on the other end as well, just to try to answer back. But Felipe is the one that's holding it through towards the sands. There for Crew, 2 players holding towards the showers. Vanya, though, is still alive towards the U-Haul. Orbital Strike not used, 12 HP remaining, and a jumping right-click classic off the assist on the flash. 4 kills for Vanya within the round. And BBL will take the series!
What a way to end this series!
The second day of Game Changers Championship 2023. Another game, another desk, another banger. As our final game for today is the defending champs, G2 Gozen, up against the powerhouse team SMG. I'm Janiro, your host, joined on the desk by our own Louds Lisa. Thank you so much. Your international debut here. How you doing?
Thank you. I'm doing great. I'm so excited to be here. Thank you for the opportunity.
Oh, lovely to have you. We're also joined by Kuka.
Oh, I'm very happy to be here actually with you girls. You know, Lisa, next year you will be on the other side, I hope. But we're very, very happy to have you, especially after what happened yesterday. I think that everybody has a lot of big open eyes towards G2 and SMG.
Yeah, it has been a banger indeed yesterday. Both of these matches going very interestingly, and I think curveballs and unpredictability specifically were the theme of yesterday. I mean, a lot of gambas unfortunately were lost as well, but when we're looking at G2 Gozen, the biggest curveball being that roll swap, that was incredible. And something to really highlight here is that Mimi, as an individual player coming through on the roll swap, but then that didn't stop her from popping off.
Yeah, exactly, but that's just Mimi. I feel like we've seen this film before, you know, and we actually did like the ending. And it's something that we also saw last year. Coming into Game Changers Championship, they decided to swap things around to move Mary to that chamber. Do you guys remember that, Meta?
Yeah,
you know, that was
great.
A long, long time ago. But this is definitely the thing that makes G2 so strong. The fact that they can swap things around with just that 1 month and a half that they had, and it's like, okay, so we have new maps and we have to learn, that we have to crack. We also, you know, have to address this problem, or maybe we want to give it a different turn. We want to bring something new. Okay, you, Petra, you have already IGL'd. You're new. Actually, how about you go on the smokes, and Mimi, you will go on the IGL. And it's the kind of team that can do it.
Yeah, absolutely. And if for some reason you've been living under a rock and you're wondering what exactly are you guys talking about, let's hear from our IGL Mimi herself and see what she had to say about it.
We had a rough Series 3 in EMEA, and we knew that we had to change something up to also, so no one knew what we were going to do at Champions. And it might have seemed like super crazy. Like, Petra has never played Duelist before, not even in ranked. And also, Sarah has never played Smokes before. So we were just like, we needed something different also in terms of like initiation. And Petra is very vocal, and it just made a lot of sense. So we've been working very hard to make it work, and I'm happy it did for this match.
You know what? It feels like we've seen this movie before. Last time it went really well for G2 Gozen and they come out on top. So let's have a look as well in terms of what we saw yesterday when it came to these changes, when it came to these new agents that the players pulled out. I mean, looking at Mimi, Petra, and Sarah, diversity.
Yeah, exactly. This that we're seeing right now, as you can see on your screen, is the 2023 agent pick. So for the entire year, you can see that Petra has mainly been on the sky, that Mimi has been supportive in any way that she was needed. And then against Team Liquid, Mimi exclusively on that sky from that IGL role. Petra, even though you see those 2 times on Raze, that was actually during Rebel. This is not something that we saw at Game Changers, but probably already testing that theory and testing things out. And Sarah, that was one of the questions that we were having getting into Game Changers Championship. What was she going to do? Definitely fill in the shoes for what was expected from G2.
You know, they're so good. Like Mimi, she can play everything. Honestly, she's just that girl. You know, like even with the role swap, to me, they really did like a great job. We did a boot camp on Europe this September, and we played scrims against them, and they had that impact, you know, like those 3 players, and even with the world changes, it just made sense. Like it made sense, like really.
It made sense. It made sense yesterday, and I'm just really looking forward to see what else they're going to be able to bring out to this.
Yeah.
Because when we're looking at yesterday at Petra on the initiator, Sarah on Digital, that's what we're used to. But for some reason, this just it's G2 and they make it work.
Yeah, exactly. I think that it's so important what Mimi said, you know, like you have to find your own challenge. And as I was saying, they already had challenges. The breeze, the sunset, what is going to happen? We were already surprised by what happened in the map select, but it's just the old G2. And if you want to be up to, you know, taking the challenge of going against them, it's the unpredictability. You come into this event being like, they haven't been stable during the year, because they haven't, especially on this last Game Changers. With that position, it really wasn't G2 Gozen. They needed to look scary. And yesterday, they made a statement, not only with the role set, but also deciding that the first map that they were going to play was going to be Sunset.
What can they not do at this point? Honestly,
really
like everyone, they're so like flexible, and they all have impact in the game, and that is so important, really.
And it translates as well as a team. You're seeing that confidence. You touched upon it yourself already, Sunset being the first map pick. I remember
To
very
me, that's
much.
unreal.
I mean,
really is
the
unreal.
thing is, we're saying that's unreal, but so far, it feels like almost every single map draft that we had at Sunset in it. So it's like, it's not just G2 that are throwing these curveballs. Every single team is throwing one, but it feels like G2, when it comes to that adaptability, they've been coming out on top.
I mean, as I was saying, everybody has their pecking order for this event. But G2 had so many things to do. Even they wanted to find that edge, and they decided to go for everything at once. You know, when you go to class and probably you didn't do your homework, and there's this person who has already, you know, sum up all the units, has done every single resume, and you're just like, yeah, I'm just going to fail this. That's how the rest of the teams must be feeling right now.
Yeah. Well, it looks like everyone's done their homework, but without further ado, let's hear from Petra, who's ready with Mika.
Petra, can we pull you in for a really quick question?
Yes.
Awesome. We have Petra here of G2 Gozen. Now, you guys were really dominant against Team Liquid yesterday. How have you guys been prepping for SMG's unique style?
Yeah, they have a very unique style indeed. We're trying to observe their playstyle, and for it looks like now they have the same playstyle on every map. So if we counter them and shut down the team early, then I think it wouldn't be a problem.
Excited to see it. Good luck out there.
Thank you so much.
Very unique playstyle. That's definitely an interesting way to put it. I think yesterday when we were looking both at G2 but also at SMG, they're coming up with their own kind of twists and turns after, as you said it, some of the boot camps, the changes that we've seen, Sunset being picked, the agents swaps, the role swaps, but also SMG with the 4 duelists.
It was unpredictable. I think unpredictability is one of the things that are like dominant in this tournament to me. Everyone just don't know what to expect at this point. Like, what should we do at this point? Like, I don't know. We cannot prepare like certainly to a match if a team is super unpredictable. That's why we say that SMG is like the new Paper X of Game Changers.
Ooh, I like that. I mean, that wasn't on the bingo card for me, at least, to be completely honest. But
Definitely not, but we did enjoy it. I mean, I think that yesterday everybody in the community was enjoying it. If you were to turn into Twitter, you would see so many people having opinions on you know, what was going on. Some people was taking it very seriously. I think it was very funny. because we knew what had happened, right? And
Yeah.
at some point, I wish that they hadn't had the interview where they say exactly what was going on, but everybody was like, oh my God, this is so good because actually it makes a lot of sense because of this and that. And we're like, if only you knew what was going on.
You know what's going on. Yeah, I mean, when that happened yesterday, I think everybody and their grandmother was like shook, to say the least. But we're going to be moving forward because I think as well, what really was highlighted that was the fact that there was also versatility within Team SMG. When we're looking at Inari starting off on the Cypher and then pivoting onto that Jet, onto the Duelist, but also every single one on that roster yesterday had played Duelist role, which from a player perspective, how likely is it that everyone on the team is comfortable playing every single role?
Honestly, I think what the key point was to them, it was the confidence, because it really changes. Like in the game, it's really different to play with the Jet and with the Cypher. Cypher, you usually do your setups and you wait for people to come to you, and you just stay still the entire match. So it's really different. With Jet, you like rotate a lot and you peek a lot, and honestly, she could do it like. It was like Cypher had dash.
Yeah, exactly. I think that we need to give context because maybe some people do not have Twitter or have not read about what happened. Basically, yesterday on this Lotus, we had a composition with one Cypher. By the way, the Cypher was played by the Duelist of the team, and for Duelist, and everybody thought that it was so edgy and so crazy. But what happened, it was just a mistake. They thought they were testing the ping for the lobby, and since they had already seen the composition on the other side for the other team, they were like, we cannot actually remake this. And they were like, okay, you know what? We'll play it. And right after that, when they won and everybody was like, what just happened? I found Kohaibi in the green room and I was like, girl, I mean, at what point somebody turned to the other players and said, winnable? Like, at what point you decide that you're actually going to make it work? And it was literally the confidence, because probably they're not in their comfort picks, and it did not matter because they trusted themselves, not only as individuals, but also as a team, being like, okay, you know, guys, we have some smokes, we have some walls, definitely have some flashes, so let's just run up to them. And it worked perfectly because it also fit their playstyle.
Yeah, and they definitely had the ACS as well. When we were looking at Inari, both on the Duelist as well as the Sentinel, it was incredible to see. And I think that's, again, another curveball that G2 is going to have to adapt to, because you don't actually know what you're going to be going up against. But similarly for SMG, they also don't know what's going to be going up against. So it's like,
yeah.
How do you approach this?
Honestly, you just cannot prepare for this. I think they both should just focus on their own playstyle. Honestly, I think they all should be super confident, and I think who's more confident today is gonna win. That's basically it.
I think it might take a little bit more, because if we think about G2 and EMEA as a region, we have had many teams that are very proactive. I think in the SMG way, for example, BBL, you know, is the kind of team that it won't stop just because it's defense. It doesn't matter that you can't press W, and they will definitely do it. Now, it's going to, you know, take maybe a different kind of breed this time around, but they do have, well, most of them have the experience of doing it in an international event. They did it last year, and I think that maybe this year they can do it as well. Of course, the opponent is different, and there's new difficulties, but I think that G2 is the kind of team that can do it.
Absolutely. I mean, W Gaming seems to be a theme around, and I'm a big fan of it. Let's check in with Mika Fabs as well as Inari and see what they're thinking ahead of the game.
Inari, can we pull you in for a really quick question? Okay, awesome. We have Inari here from Team SMG. You guys have a really tough opponent today. How is the team feeling? Let us know.
It's a tough opponent, but when we go into the server, right, we don't see them as like G2. We see them just as the agents. So coming into this, we're super confident, because like, as for me, I'm confident in myself and I'm confident in the team. So yeah, we're just feeling super good and super confident today.
Really excited for this matchup. Best of luck.
You said it yourself, Lysa, confidence is going to be the key here, and that's going to determine who is going to be potentially taking this one away. We just heard it from Inari. They are very comfortable themselves. They're very confident. And when we're looking at SMG and their track record, in case you've missed it or you forgot about it, it's 35-0. That's pretty impressive. I don't know anyone who's had that track record. That's a green carpet. I would love that.
I mean, we have seen, just because of how the regions work and everything, maybe we have seen teams, especially in the past, I feel like this year's been a little bit different in that sense, but we have seen teams being very, very dominant. the problem is that at some point you are going to lose, and you need to be prepared to be as confident as you are winning as you are losing, because in tournaments like this one there is also a loser bracket. Just because you lose one match, it doesn't mean that you're out, but definitely just because you win one, it doesn't mean that you have the whole thing secured.
Yeah, and dealing with that loss is going to be something to learn and to just develop on its own from a player's perspective. When you're on such a high that you've continuously been winning games, you're 35-0, you're getting all these wins, you're now going on to an international LAN, and you're dealing with your first loss. How would you approach that as a player? Like, what would go through your head?
Honestly, I don't know. No, but they're
Come on,
just...
Lisa, you're ready for next year. You have
Oh my
this.
God.
You need this kind of learning.
Yeah. Like, losing is something that we... every team needs, honestly. Like, it's the experience that is gonna make you better as a team, as an individual. Honestly, experience counts a lot, and G2 has more experience talking about adversities and things going wrong, and maybe that's a key point when it comes to like winning or losing today, because something could happen today. Like SMG could lose a map, and they're gonna be like, oh my god, what are you gonna do? And maybe they cannot come back, you know what I mean? But just maybe they have the confidence to come back as well and do whatever they want to do. They want to just peek and kill everyone. They can do it. So I think confidence is key today. Yeah, really.
Yeah, from that perspective as well, neither one of these teams has lost here yet, so this is also going to be that first one.
We're 1 day into, like, we're 2 days into the tournament.
you gotta say it, you gotta point it out, man.
No, yeah, but I think it's crazy. Like, for example, looking at what happened yesterday and what we can expect from SMG, I think that just imagine for a second that you misclick, okay? It was a mistake, things happen.
Yeah.
Also, by the way, props to the team, because I know of some teams that after that mistake was made, they would be like, oh, we're not playing. And they were like, it's our mistake. It's fine. We will play it. They even played along with it. They didn't even know if they could say what had actually happened. And we saw their coach being like, yeah, this was a tribute to one of our old comps. And I was like, can I like you more? I don't think so. I think it's so wholesome in many ways. But moving away from that, yesterday with that happening, I feel like the confidence is through the roof.
Yeah,
after winning that,
Really.
you can win everything.
Yeah.
And you feel unstoppable. Also, EG on the other side, after losing to that, you feel like, man, I had a plan. I had a plan,
man.
and then I found 4 duelists, and I don't know what to do against this because I was not prepared for this. But now that G2 is coming into the tournament very, very well prepared, and maybe they expect something different. I want to see SMG in that position that things are not working. Things are not working, and we need to turn this around. So I would like for this series to at least go to a 3rd map.
That would actually be the first series as well in the last 2 days that would actually go to that 3rd map. But
Match day, and we're gonna be done at after 6 hours.
We love Valorant, okay? We do hecking love it, so we want to see more of it. But when we're looking as well at SMG and G2, both of these teams, Liza, have been so incredibly well at dictating the pace of the game. You're looking at SMG, like you said it yourself. EG had a plan, but the plan was not for duelists. It wasn't my plan either. So coming into this game, how can these teams actually assert that fact of dictating the game and saying, look, you're playing mine, I'm not going to let you run away with the lead?
As Petra said in her interview, they're gonna just cut the bad from its, like, just gonna destroy them like by the start of the game.
Yeah.
They wanna just, I think, hold maybe and punish them on pushes, or maybe, I don't know, just trying to stop their victim or something. I think they're gonna be prepared in that kind of way, like more holding and trying to stop the pushes and trying to stop that confidence that's gonna be like snowballing at some point, and I think that's gonna be their plan.
I think that we saw it yesterday, especially on that sunset, I was so excited being like, okay, G2 on your map, what are you going to give me? And in so many rounds, we saw that proactivity coming in from Mimi, just pushing mid, just having the initiative. But G2 is also the kind of team that is not scared at all to just wait for you and to just hit you in your weak spot, because they have the experience. And as I said, we have so different teams in EMEA that they have been tested against everything. So they look that scary because they know that they can adapt mid-game. That's the kind of G2 that you get every single day.
Yeah, and touching on the G2 and how well they've been doing, Mimi particularly has been a player that has been super outstanding, not just when we're looking at her stats, but also the fact that she was able to set up a lot of mid rounds with her calling, and just the utility usage has been perfect.
Yeah, and actually, it's so surprising because you have Petra that has been doing it for the entire year, and now you have Mimi who's doing it now. And if you, for some reason, you don't know this, these two girls are like giga best friends. Like they do everything together. They have the kind of synchrony that you cannot have with most people. And if you can translate that to in-game, I could not think of a better duo than Mimi initiating for Petra and just Petra running free with the race. I think that that's another thing that makes them scary. Like I don't see, if I'm SMG and I'm looking at it from the outside being like, okay, I need to focus on myself so much, and it's so important what they were saying. I don't even look at the names. To me, they're just the agents. Because if you think of everything that goes behind G2's reasoning of doing things and everything that goes within around, it's too much for you to take in. Anybody would be nervous.
Yeah, also looking at G2 specifically, when we're looking at these role swaps, Liza, we're looking at the maps that we've seen yesterday and their approaches to it. It feels like they've shown us a lot of their cards that we potentially were not expecting. But considering it's day 2 only, it's a marathon, not a sprint, does that potentially cause any worry? Do you think there's even more that a team like G2 could just like have in their back pocket?
I mean, they could be prepared to like, I think more time in a tournament, maybe something weird could happen, you know what I mean? But for now, I think if G2 mainly plays just like default and doing like their thing and just doing everything they can with that, just the relationship that everyone has in the team, you know, like everyone's just like super in sync. And I think if they play just default, they're gonna be really great, even though like you don't know really well what to expect, you know.
All right, well, thank you guys so much for sticking with us. We're gonna be heading to a very quick break, and we'll be back shortly with the final game of today. SMG up against G2 Gozen.
Hi, my name is Sarah. I play for G2. Yeah, it does feel really good to prove everyone wrong, especially in front of a home crowd. I was feeling pretty nervous. It's my first Game Changers LAN, but I was super excited as well. I didn't really do anything to calm my nerves. I was just trying to speak to my teammates and get my mind off the fact that we're going to be playing on stage. If you want to win, you have to be focused. I think I bring some extra firepower to the team.
One player within the pit and letting the other two play the pulse plan on the long range shot from Mound. And Mimi's there for support at least. Oh my, what a little flick right there.
I think SMG, being from Asia, they have a very specific playstyle that we're not used to. Like in Asia specifically, they play a very fast pace, which we're not used to in EMEA, so we need to adapt fast. I'm excited to play a fast comp, but we need to be really quick thinkers. You either adapt or you lose.
You adapt or you lose.
You die.
No, I mean,
that
in game.
both.
So yeah, you lose, unfortunately. But I think the fact that there is a lot of awareness in terms of the difference in playstyle from both of these regions, Liza, you know, Sarah said it herself. We're not used to that in EMEA. You know, they're going fast, they're running at you, they're just dashing straight in your face. You already touched upon it a little bit in terms of trying to stop them in their tracks. But as the SMG, when you're looking at a team like G2, you know they've prepped, you know they're gonna try and stop you. What would their game plan be?
I think that you can't be confident and still play a like more slow game and still be confident in whatever you're doing. Like to me, I think they're gonna come back to their default comps and just be confident in like whatever they're doing that are basically like common calls. Honestly.
Yeah, just very easy. I think that G2 has the upper hand in this one because I feel like they're gonna have an easier time adapting to all of this.
Do you think as well when we're looking at the map, so like that G2 could have the upper hand?
I think that there is definitely room for some surprises.
All right. Well, the coaches are ready, and so are the maps. So let's head over.
So we're starting map select process for G2 against SMG. This is a match valid for the second round of the upper bracket. This is decided by coin flip. The coin flip was defined by alphabetical order, so G2 is heads and SMG is tails. Okay, so heads is the front, tails is the back. Okay? So it's tails, right? Okay, so tails, SMG starts choosing. Team A or Team B? Team B, SMG. Team B is second ban. Okay, that's it? Team B?
Yeah.
Okay, so G2 is Team A. Then G2 starts banning.
Ban Lotus.
Okay, so ban Lotus, ban for SMG.
Then Breeze.
Breeze? Okay. Map pick for G2.
Pick Bind.
Pick bind. Side on bind for SMG.
Defense.
Defense. Okay. Map pick for SMG.
Pick Split.
Sorry?
We pick Split.
Split.
Yeah.
Okay. So split, side on split for G2.
Start Defense.
Defense. Okay. Next set of bans. G2 bans a map. We have Ascent, Haven, Sunset.
Ban Ascent.
Ascent. Last ban for SMG. We have Haven and Sunset.
We ban Sunset.
Sunset. Okay. So the decider is Haven. Side on Haven for G2.
Defense.
G2, Haven, Defense. That's it. Good luck, have fun.
Thank you.
goosebumps when you can just play rock, paper, scissors, okay? Winner takes it all, losers goes home. But that is not what it is, because we're going to have to settle this one on the server. We got Bind, Split, and Haven. And you know what? They're so real for that first one.
Listen, there's so much to unravel here. G2 Gozen, that defending champion, still on that winner's run. And SMG making us all dream with what happened yesterday. How far can they take it? And as you're saying, it starts with the map picks and bans. The fact that G2 yesterday was banning Bind, Peak and Sunset, and now today, they banned something different there. They banned Lotus just because of what they saw yesterday. Just in case, you know, just in case. It's a risk not worth taking. And they pick the Bind. They want to make sure that everybody in this tournament knows that they are the bigger threat.
But it also, Lysa, comes back to the point that we discussed a little of. Another ace up their sleeve has now been shown again. Are you worried about that?
Honestly, I think G2 has everything in control. Yeah, they have a lot of things to show, I think, still. But Bind to me was a big surprise, honestly, because they banned during the entire year, basically, right?
Yeah, so G2's been doing this, like you might, and you're correct by thinking that, because for a very long time, this is definitely the map that they've played the least, that they have felt less comfortable. But this is not the first time that G2 goes on this trail of just, you know, this is going to be Bind against you, but maybe Lotus against you. Like, this is the kind of thing that will disrupt you a little bit, because it makes you feel like they're comfortable everywhere. And they're not. Like, nobody is. Nobody can be, but you have that feeling. And this is, I know that this is, you know, the second time, well, the first time that we see a team playing twice, right? And just because we're 2 days into the competition. But if you think about the rest of the teams, most of them, if not none of them, we're coming with a permaban or something like that. And G2 is, again, that ultimate threat of, honestly, I dictate everything that happens in this tournament, just like last year.
Yeah, Prime Gaming Age Select is ready as well, just to further solidify their position on this map. When we're looking at these compositions from the side of SMG, nothing too crazy from what we're used from them, Lysa.
Honestly, G2 with the Cypher, I like that, because Cypher got reworked and it's meta now, honestly.
Honestly, what I'm surprised is I cannot remember the last time that we saw G2 Gozen without Sage on this map. Like, for so long, it was a pick that they trusted so much, especially with Mimi. And it's funny because we had seen them play in Red Bull Homeground, and the race, and Petra on the race was something that was definitely there. Sarah also on that Brimstone. So maybe you thought that that was the way to go, but actually giving it another twist, I'm very happy with it.
Well, G2 Gozen, the returning champs, going up against SMG Powerhouse that is currently 35-0. Who will taste their first loss on the international stage? Let's find out with our casters, Doug and Athena.
Thank you so much, Ginny. This match has so much to be excited about. Again, you talk about the 35-0 record. You talk about the fact that they're defending champs on the other side of this stage. The map pool looks great for this too. I'm so freaking excited.
Yeah, this game is going to be an absolute blast. I am calling that this is going to be a banger. We see the #1 seed, the one that won last year. And then we also have SMG, who we saw yesterday be absolutely confident and explosive. And we'll see how these two teams battle it out.
G2 starting off on the attacking side of Bind, and it's a heavy lean towards B. They've already taken Hookah. They've triggered the trip, but they have all the space over there. That's going to force the fight into Roxy, and Roxy's glad to take it. 2 kills already to start him off.
Yep, that's simple hookah pop, nothing else to expect. I mean, the two players in SMG trying to fight for long, but not much they could do against the raw firepower that G2 just used to take that space. I mean, just an unlucky gamble from SMG, but they do have the ability to retake here. They have a lot of smokes, a lot of util, and a molly to get out with this.
Can G2 hang on with the numbers advantage that they have? Yeah, Roxy's taking a bit of damage. You've got Sarah who's playing off. You imagine there's a lineup if need be, but it doesn't matter. Kicking things off with the Prime Gaming Flawless is G2.
That is so G2 of G2 to have a Prime Gaming Flawless in the first round already, trying to prove their dominance in the experience that they have, especially here at LAN on stage at GC.
I mean, really just an excellent start. Roxy handled this pressure so well. I mean, you imagine if Roxy falls here, all of a sudden, all the space that you took Hookah on site, it's not as comfortable, right? You've got to deal with the pressure coming in from multiple areas, so Roxy really felt like the MVP that round.
Yeah, for sure. And actually shutting down Kohabi that early in the game might be like a little bit of a confidence blocker, because she is just trying to prove their dominance with the aim fights, and they just completely denied it. So I'm excited to see how SMG reacts.
Ooh. Another opener there, the Bulldog. making things work. We're gonna be online with the neural theft here pretty soon if things continue. The dog prowling out to sight. The spike is still all the way back in spawn, so really nothing to worry about there as Kahibi's getting free one onto Petra.
Such quick reactions from G2. They instantly saw through the SMG shower trap, and actually, I think they got a pick before SMG even was prepared to trigger that shower trap. So it actually ended up being an unfortunate loss for SMG, but G2 immediate reaction towards Hookah. Such a good reaction here. We did talk about hive mind mentality, but it looks like G2 is actually powering through with that hive mind mentality as well.
Yeah, they just look so comfortable right now. And I mean, we haven't had to see a ton yet, but what they've tried so far has worked quite nicely. SMG not really able to put up much of a resistance. Again, at least early on, a kill traded back and forth. If things go cleanly for G2 the rest of the way, they're going to be able to carry these 3 Bulldogs up well. That's 2 now. But still, I mean, still a decent bonus, all things considered.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, 3 guns down. They have to buy next round anyway. I think that both teams here on the first gun round really have a chance to prove how they're trying to set the tone for the pace of this map. I mean, so far we have seen SMG not scared to take those first confidence peaks. I think it's really great that they're trying to put that down on paper, but G2 is also playing really well with their reactions so far. This first gun round is going to really set the pace for the rest of this game, I believe.
Roxy's going to have the Bulldog still. Petra will have a Vandal.
An interesting bonus.
Yeah.
That's for sure.
See the Stimmy up aggressive towards B. You know, as we mentioned in the previous round, the first 2 have worked well on bullying, getting past the defenses B, and then finding success. So if it ain't broke, well, all right, it's broken now. It's broken now as Kahibi just mows over Petra there on the counter to keep things competitive, to keep them interesting as Roxy and Petra still stand. Oh, she's going up really far. This could be really cheeky. She heard that. The smoke goes down. That's a free kill, or it should have been. But Kamiyu, all the wiser, all the better in that instance. SMG, they're on the board.
Oh my god, absolutely shutting down that execute. I was just about to talk about how Cypher is such a good defensive player, and then on the other team, on SMG, they have Chamber. So Chamber needs to be aggressive and take those picks. And as soon as that TP went out, I thought, okay, well, they're kind of caught off guard. GG's gonna react, but no, absolutely proven wrong with this 3K spray down from Kahibi. Amazing hold, and Kamiyu just absolutely denying the space that Petra was trying to take. I think both teams had such good reads here and good reactions, but the mechanical skill coming out just proved to be different.
Yeah. Ended up being the difference maker for sure. Finally going to see a bit of a lean towards A, and we've already got the Sword of Force online. Kahibi popping it early, the Flash getting a little bit of info towards long, and that is where the op is trained.
Sky actually walking down long here, taking that space, flashing Sarah off, and that is a perfect long control. They're actually pushing both extremities here, both showers and long being on lock, absolutely demolishing this default that G2 was trying to do.
I mean, what a gorgeous start. You're absolutely right. To find value on both sides of the map, and for G2 to not really take up any of the space on the inside of it, it's just I mean, that's all you could possibly ask for. They also have an orbital strike online already. This is an excellent start for SMG.
Yeah, I mean, I think a really big thing was getting that tour de force so early on Chamber was such a big difference maker, because they did have the confidence to take those kinds of peaks. Petra trying to go for a little cheeky one on Shirazi, but not much to be taken here.
Well, not even to mention the financial implications of what just took place. Because Kahibi didn't have to buy, right? You're going to have so much more carrying into the next round. A Prime Gaming Flawless coming through to respond with G2's first. And that first round, Dina, that feels like a really long time ago.
Yeah, I mean, on your first gun round, everything that you need to do, like, as an attack side, you're doing that default. You want to understand how the defense side is playing.
Right.
And you want to understand what their reactions are. Meanwhile, the defense, usually you want to see how the attackers are trying to take the map, but instead they literally just entered and pushed themselves through into the back lines of the other team. Like, it's really interesting to see how SMG played, but G2's reaction here is going to be a really big one on this Thrifty.
I mean, they've got the crowd behind him. You can hear the chants. Let's go G2. Let's go Petra. A great response from the previous round, getting the opener onto Kahibi, and yeah, she's plucked out of the sky. Oh my gosh, Alexi does it. 3 on the round. The 4th had no shot as they just Rumble, the pistol's not able to find any success.
No,
Roxy getting one. Yeah, it's an ace loss. I mean, but the stats are padded.
That under hookah position is
crazy.
Is being a beast towards G2. G2 does not know how to deal with this hookah position from now on.
I mean, and the crowd turned real hard. Now we have SMG chants that are popping off. The spike well out of reach of Roxy. Has upgraded a weapon though. A 1v3, no armor. She can get her one. She might have a shot at it. But a little bit of damage already done. Roomba confirming the position. Now you've got a triple face you're gonna have to deal with. Once you swing out, a brutal situation. SMG takes the lead.
Yeah, really well played by SMG. They were trying to keep that hookah control. As soon as they lost it, they're really good at capitalizing these trades. The only thing is that G2 is so good at getting these first bloods. They just need to be able to clear these spots and not allow a multi-kill like that. That's happened twice now already in the first 5 rounds of the game.
Yeah, and it looked like Mimi's flash was just a little late, right?
Yeah.
You saw the flash go out in front of Petra and never pop, so Kahibi's able to get a couple of quick kills there. Or excuse me, yeah, it was Kahibi, I believe.
Yeah.
Either way, it was a lot of kills. It was from under window. We'll see what the adjustments are. Op online for the chamber, and aggressive line. You know, you were talking about this. As the chamber, you have to set up in these aggressive positions. That's exactly what they're doing.
Yeah, getting the line and being able to call the rotations for your team is so important, but they're actually setting up Sky and Raze towards that long position. A TP or info coming in with the dog, that's super important because now they're going to understand that the 2 Sentis need to fall back towards that site. You see Chamber and Viper now playing passive to hold it back, waiting for rotations from their team as they got all that information already. Really, really good rotations coming in from SMG.
Petra does have the showstopper. Perhaps that's a spark they need in the face of this small but notable momentum shift that is leaned over towards the defense, and there's just nothing but silence across the site right now. No one daring to make a move. And finally, the flash will shatter that silence. Petra pushing forward. The satchel to take some space. Showstopper still in hand, but they've split out through showers as well. This fight back side is going to be brutal. The flash is gorgeous. The kills come through. G2 on top for now.
What a flawless execute. They knew they got the front of the site for free, and they punished them by taking that back site control. They took the space back that they got, that they needed, and so this post plant is going to be so important. G2, Glance, and Petra just holding it down with a beautiful crossfire for another Prime Gaming flawless. Both these teams just hitting us with flawless.
Yeah, I mean, Prime, they're getting their money's worth.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? We had 6 rounds, 3 of them have been that. But yeah, I think that was, I think you said it so well. That was very clean. They took front side for free.
Yeah.
They knew they had what they wanted. Very well done, and obviously a little bit of gas for the IGL. That feels good.
Yeah, really good, really well played. I think both teams are just reading each other so well at this point that it's really down to like the nitpicks of the multi-kills and the fastest reaction time to see who gets the upper hand in each of these fights.
Another aggressive line taken from Kahibi to start the round. Roomba not detecting anything, but the Vandal of Veneri does. But it's traded right back.
Toxins going up.
Where do they go from here? G2 with the opportunity to reset the map. They have the numbers advantage. Really a luxury, all things considered. They also just found where Shirazi was playing, so we'll see where they choose to go with this. Oh my. That was pretty.
I know exactly.
Shirazi just being a beast. I mean, G2 with the numbers advantage, just grouping up to take advantage of it, and Shirazi is trying to get that numbers equalized. Really, really good play. I mean, the ult to delay is so important, but Viper on the side? Mimi?
I didn't think that the orbital strike would catch, but we found ourselves in a 1v2. Glance left alone, the pit to cover for just a moment. No armor. You see a couple of bullets whizzing by as Glance has to carefully check where any member of SMG might be. The tap on the first, the peek back into the pit, and Camille's there to greet.
Oh my goodness, SMG. They turned that around.
Yeah, they did.
G2 had numbers advantage, and it was converted. Kahibi first walking up, getting that kill. Yes, she got traded, but it put a little break in the gas of what G2 was planning to do. Obviously, when you're in a situation where you're down numbers, you want to group up and just re-hit. But the second that you know that that information is there, the Brim ult, the Sky's rotating already, it's just such a good timing play. Mimi, unfortunately, just getting caught out, but Alexi with the pick on Roxy. That Viper pit went down, but it was not enough shield for what SMG was bringing.
Yeah, that pick from Heaven was nasty. You see it, they're feeling it. Gassing up the crowd, and right on time. A quick timeout being called, we presume, from the side of G2, and probably wisely timed, all things considered, because you feel, again, this momentum starting to shift that way. When you have a numbers advantage situation like that, for SMG to be able to convert as well as they did can be very daunting if you're on the receiving end of it.
Yeah, I think that round was just like a huge factor in understanding how close this game is going to be. Like, I think we've already seen from the first few rounds that both these teams have insanely high firepower, insanely high skills, insanely high teamwork, and so now we're just figuring out which one of these teams is going to come out on top. Again, numbers advantage seems to be nothing for either of these teams because both teams can convert whatever it is that they need to. It seems like it's going to be down to these post plants and retakes and how well each team is going to be able to perceive those.
We'll see how things play out. G2 has 3 ults to work with going into this round on the other side of the timeout. And it doesn't seem like, at least early on, there's much of a change. You've got the same Viper wall that's gone down short and a lean towards A.
Yeah, a change of pace here might be needed for G2. These defaults are kind of getting punished by SMG. They seem to have understood how they're playing the game. But with these ults, again, Doug, just like you said, maybe something fast is in play.
There's such a heavy lean towards B for SMG here. Roxy getting caught. You imagine you find the Cypher. Is that going to be quick rotates? You imagine Roxy's going to be lurking. The rest of the hit has to be A.
Yep, and we already have 2 players on the flank. Such good positioning from SMG to punish whatever it is that G2 is trying to do. They set up their Raze in that Shower's position, but they probably have no clue that the 2 players are actually wrapping all the way through spawn. They are aware that someone is in the flank, but I don't think that they're ready for these 2 players to be so late. But Sarah does not care. Getting the pick onto Kohibi, absolutely shutting down the chamber peak.
But it's got to be fast. G2 have to continue to push the pace because they've got it. Well, again, it doesn't matter. Another 3K for Kamiyu. The flank that's coming in behind him just proves to be ineffective because all the members are going to be dead. When all things are considered, SMG get another round. They read the map beautifully. They got the opening pick on Roxy, and then they had the flash and the dash to show with it.
That round was so good from SMG. I mean, again, Kohibi just playing for her own picks and allowing her team to get that much information so early on in the round, absolutely shutting down any adaptation that G2 is trying to do. And then, of course, Kamiyu with the 3K. I mean, again, these multi-kills, Doug, this is what keeps setting each team apart from each other.
It's so difficult, too, to continue. I mean, if that's the game that we're in for, where it's going to be firepower versus firepower and trying to match like that in order to maintain pace, that's a difficult task. But so far, SMG have been able to play that game and do so more effectively.
Yeah, I'm interested to see what G2 has in store with these ults for us because they have been holding on to it for a while now. Specifically that Raze ult, but Roxy getting almost punished once again, running away. Raze and Sky putting a lot of pressure down, and G2 is coming back to try to retake that space, something that they really need to do. But, I mean, again, playing so smart SMG, they took the space, they gave it up. They know that the other team has to use util to re-clear it, Doug, because they saw that they were pushed all the way down.
Right. It's utility that you're not going to have to actually get out onto the side or take some space that you normally would out of Octagon or Hookah or things like that. So they still have the dog. That nade is going to cause some problems. It's going to separate them. And Aries right beneath them. How'd she get the kill onto Petra? The showstopper doesn't land.
Oh,
doesn't matter. Either way, Mimi's there to respond. They're going to heal him back up. That was ridiculous.
Oh my god, just phantom things right
there.
Yeah,
I guess. I was mad.
Oh my god, and Neri, I like the confident wide swing after too to try to peek down long. I think maybe it was a little overkill, but again, what a kill from Neri. That was so good to watch.
If you're feeling it, you're feeling it, I guess. Seekers intended to pave the way out on A. You've got Kohibi who's still here, Shirazi up in heaven, and now really the rest of SMG has joined the fight. Spike still managing to go down. Roxy playing up close in lamps. Oh, did you see the gun barrel? Either way, the kill comes through for Roxy. Numbers starting to dwindle. Actually, of course, they counter right back. Just when it seems like SMG's at a numbers disadvantage, it's another multi-kill situation, this time not as flashy, but with the same result, the same success. The orbital strike not finding anything other than buying time. Sarah gets the first, Alexi's on the flank. Stop me if you've seen this one before. Another round in favor of SMG.
I mean, G2, you know, they tried to delay the retake for so long. Mimi with the flashback side trying to delay because they had the brim out. They were waiting. They were playing off-site. All they had to do was protect the president as much as they could.
Yeah.
But the crossfires on site did not work because SMG did such a good job at picking one side and isolating one side and taking those picks in the retake. This bench position just absolutely getting obliterated. I mean, Alexi just kind of killing that crossfire by herself and absolutely punishing Sarah for standing all the way back. You need to be able to delay for that brim ult, and if you want to play post-plant, but it just wasn't enough.
I mean, Alexi, again, it feels like a flashback of the series we saw yesterday, constantly getting a deep flank in at just the right time and finding value out of it. We've already seen her attempt it a couple of times. That last round, the most successful. This time an early pit. Out from Shirazi towards a short. G2 taking some of the space showers, but I mean, what do you do with it? You're still going to have to establish this area of the map if you want to end A.
Yeah, I mean, not putting any pressure on the other side of the map is going to be punishing because they are already out. But look, there's 3 players already on the flank towards short, and Viper is just sitting in short, delaying for so long. Oh my!
Roxy with 2 massive kills with the Guardian. The pit went down. Shirazi wasn't able to hold that. They still have Miyu on site. Mimi's able to clean that up. Alexi's left alone. And again, it's going to be coming from a flank. Petra nicely using the satchels to break the crosshair placement. G2 respond with a round.
A nice little boop at the end with the satchel. I mean, that round... Listen, Doug. G2 finally understanding the assignment. They know that they have to change their pace. They took that showers control and they actually did something off of it. They popped the ult, they took front sight. Again, one of those reads where they knew they had front sight for free. There has to be something fishy going on. And just like that, the reactions to turn around, to understand what was going on, to split on the short player and make sure that they punish that Viper ult that's coming down. Everything was really well played by G2. They are adapting as we see it.
Tour de force used to open the round. You see a little bit of jump spotting, and Aries feeling a lot of pressure here, and there is some, well, there was some help. Kamiyu was the assistance, and Aries falling too. Showers is theirs.
Yeah, wide swinging showers and Neri. I love the confidence, but at this point, G2 is starting to get the wheels rolling. Oh my goodness, Shirazi again showing us why she's such a good sentinel holding down the side, but Petra immediately getting the trade. G2 just showing us that they're playing such good 1v1s and playing together as a team, and I think that's one enemy remaining.
Another 3K, this time for Petra. Kahibi left alone with the Tour de Force in a 1v4. As the spike ticks away, you can't imagine a situation like this will play out in favor of the defense. I think you're right, there is definitely a notable change in pace. And even if it does seem like they're still trying to consistently hit A and find value there, just the added wrinkle, ever so slight, of a little bit of more oomph behind it is proving to be the difference maker.
Yeah, for sure. G2 reacting a lot faster than they normally were. They're deciding, hey, this default maybe isn't working so well. They took showers control. As soon as they got the picks, they know, okay, let's react, let's do it. Shirazi obviously trying to get the 1 kill. Like, it was good. She's trying to equalize numbers, you know what I mean?
Yep.
But at the end of the day, like, this showers swing from Inari, and they're trying to hold this showers control. You can't do it without any util at this point. Because hard. Again, both these teams are so good mechanically that if Inari, I know you're crazy good. Like, I know, I see it. But wide swinging showers like that, no smoke, nothing, just trying to take that ego peek, it works. It worked a couple rounds ago, you know, but you can't just keep doing that. So I think at this point, we're going to see that adaptation from SMG on the defense side in order to use more util, to deny showers, to make G2 use most of their util in order to take the space. Because right now, both these teams adapting so well, so fast, each of these rounds, that it's interesting to see who's going to shake it up in a way that's going to actually, like, mess with the other team.
Only 1 round left in this first half. SMG calling a quick timeout here to make sure that they preserve as much of a lead as they can going into the next half and not be tied up at 6 apiece. I think you're right. Given how the last couple of rounds have gone, it feels like G2 has established a read and a lead on the situation. We'll see what the buy is here for SMG. It's fine. They've got light armor and a judge, but they do have that orbital strike.
Yeah, I mean, definitely need to delay once G2 gets onto that site with that Brim ult. But we do see another Showers control trying to come in here. We have that Brim and Raze headed towards Showers. I'm wondering if they're going to do it in a different way, but they're actually not going to find anyone because G2 has shifted towards that hookah control.
Amy's got to be careful here. The flash confirming some presence, you know. Are you expecting the second? There's the judge. It's so precariously placed, and it finds value. Alexi with 2. Hookah is not available right now. They drop the Seekers. They're going to take the space, upgrade weapons. This is a gorgeous start for SMG.
Yeah, playing for that hookah control so important because they knew that either they were going to take that Showers or they were going to take towards long, and they gave up one of the other sides and held towards hookah, which was super important to get that info. Again, the 2 players on B really able to push it down, and G2 just looks like they're struggling towards that B site, and SMG knew that that was going to happen.
This half has been so much fun. Just when it feels like one team is establishing control, there's just always a counter. That's what gotten us to this 6-5 scoreline. And still just a couple of moments ago left in this round. Again, numbers in favor of SMG. G2 with the spike, a lean towards A. You have 1 player up in heaven. You have 2 in Showers. This is going to be very difficult for G2 to get through.
Yeah, SMG immediately pushing that Showers as soon as we get contact up short, reacting in such a good way, but backside is completely open.
Oh my, Flames is so dead. No real shot. Roxy managed to get away. Roxy and Sarah left alone, and now it's just Roxy with Molly in her lap, has to take a step back and dodge the 5 members of SMG that are hunting her down. You got 1, got the second. That was flashy for just a moment, but that's all it was. A great response from SMG, given G2's build of momentum, and that's going to get him to a 7-5 half.
Yeah, Roxy versus the Avengers right there. That was a crazy round. I mean, again, they finally tried switching it up, but they got punished for it. G2, SMG again with these amazing reads. I think doing a great job. Again, once they're spotted short, taking that Showers control, coming back in order to fight with their team. Just amazing Valorant to be seen here on the stage.
A 7-5 lead in favor of SMG at halftime on Bind. We're going to throw it down to the desk to break down that first half.
Thank you. Thank you, Athena and Doug. I mean, listen, we're looking at SMG. They found their footing. They found their multi-kills. They found their W key. And this is looking a little scary for G2.
Yeah, exactly. And just in this brief time, I want to take a quick look at round 4, because this is when we started seeing SMG actually taking the upper hand in the rounds. We had those questions of what is it going to be, you know? Are they going to be so proactive? Are they going to, as I said, take the upper hand? And Alexi was determined in every single round. Probably G2 thought that they had the bull by the horns, being like, oh, we just have to wait here and then, you know, they won't have it so easily. But getting the chamber ult so quickly made such an impact, and we saw the SMG that we were promised, the one that is confident and that knows exactly what to get out of this one. I think that this first half is summed up by something that Doug said perfectly. When you think one of these teams is taking the upper hand, is establishing control over the game, the other one's going to surprise you.
Yeah, and confidence was the key here. So looking forward into that next half, what can either team do to close this one out?
I just think G2 can just take care of the pushes, and to me, SMG is relying a lot on highlights to win the rounds, and I think that's a pretty easy to counter, you know. So I don't know, it could happen, anything.
I mean, definitely. I think that G2 also yesterday had a bit of a slow start. It looks like maybe we're getting the same today, or maybe this is the SMG that we actually were promised and the one that we want.
I mean, we've been seeing a lot from both of these teams, but either one has got to really lean to be able to close it out. So let's head back over to our casters, Doug and Athena.
Thank you so much. Yeah, 7-5 half for SMG. Now we're going to get to see how things play out for them on the attacking side. Things looked really good. It felt like they always had momentum, or at least a step ahead of the number 2 reps from EMEA. Again, we'll see how things play out here.
Yeah, I mean, the Cypher on G2 is going to be really helpful in this defense side. I was talking about it earlier, how Chamber has to be a little bit more aggressive, and we actually have a Viper set up playing off of the Cypher trips, which I think is a really good play in order to play that retake towards B. We have 4 players towards A ready to rotate, but SMG just kind of walking up, taking that contact.
Yeah, it seems to be the case. Glance is still playing from a pretty safe position, even though she is by herself. Trip finally getting somebody, and Glance gets a kill off that. Very nicely done. Are they just going to scale into elbow and try to fight some more? Yeah, that seems to be the case. There are some reinforcements here, and remember, it's just pistol, so it's going to be chaotic. It's going to be messy, and SMG walks out on top for now.
Smoke's down.
Yep, the Autobots rolled out into elbow. That was really, really good because they knew they had to equalize numbers in this. Glance playing it perfectly, playing off the trip, knowing that she cannot give numbers, trying to fall back, but SMG just catches her off guard.
Now the spike is in an interesting spot as it's scaling its way up into elbow. And you've got Sarah who's waiting back in spawn. I don't know. Oh, well, she's spotted now. That should give a lot of info as to what's going on here, especially if you've got a really good timing on a crunch. And if there was any other doubt, it's the Clydesdales running. You can hear all that noise. Petra on the swing, and oh no. Kahaimi getting the best of her. Sarah's falling apart too. Things not looking good for G2.
Yeah, SMG literally just taking the strat of run it down together, walk it down together, yo, let's trade together. And I think it worked out perfectly. Again, these reactions, just amazing. Mimi picking off Inari so early on, and if anyone can clutch this, Doug, it's Mimi.
Yeah, there's a potential for an outrageous moment here, opting to go for the frenzy. Keep things close, keep things fast. Mimi on the tap. Now scaling up. No, Shirazi is weak. That kill would be everything, but it's just not going to come through. Pistol going in favor of SMG.
Yeah, that was such a weird round for a second there. That was so weird. Glance again, playing it perfectly, falling back deep into elbow, but SMG just charging at her, understanding that, hey, they're playing retake. This is going to be a weak site. They pushed, they got that kill, and right there, they start walking, contacting, not letting them get any idea of where they're going. And then as soon as they start making noise, they have Kohabi turn around holding that flank. They know that something is up and something's going to happen. G2 so close to winning that out, but SMG just winning it on top.
You can see questions abound in the G2 camp. And it doesn't look like any of those are going to be answered this round. As that might be the fastest round we've had all tournament, maybe? That was very quick.
That was cool. You know? I mean, classics. Like, what can you do, you know?
Yeah.
I mean, I respect it.
Yeah.
They tried to walk up. I respect it. But SMG, of course, ready, not rushing into anything. They understand that they are saving. They are on a low buy, that they could push up and do something aggressive. And they just played it so patiently, just holding these crossfires, aware that something has to be done by the G2 side. Again, just really good reads from SMG here to kind of be on top.
Very quickly into the action, you see the flash forward, the satchels from Inari to take showers. It seems like this inevitably will end A. The thing is, you're pushing into the teeth of the Cypher setup. You just had a dog come through teleporter to confirm where they are. How do G2 respond off of this?
Yeah, I mean, we have the Raze solo staying onto B. They are hard stacking towards that A site. I don't know if they're going to be able to have enough util to delay this plant, but Camille just planting for free. I mean, they have the Brim Molly, the Viper Molly, but again, pushing back side. SMG displaying it perfectly. Mimi, oh my goodness.
Perfectly timed counter, leaving things at 2 apiece. Petra hasn't even shown up to the site yet, just now arriving. But through all of that, the spike was planted. SMG with control. A 2v2, Mimi weak, 47 HP, no armor to work with. But they continue to scale forward. You see the Viper util up. Try to deny any sightlines, any vision of what might be transpiring on the site. Mimi with the first. And massive kill. The second's not going to come through. Petra's gotten it to half. And the 1v1 goes G2's way.
Oh my goodness, such an expensive round for G2, Doug. SMG understood that they had to take the fights to G2. They had to get close with those Spectres, with those short-range guns in order to win this round. And they actually bullied them off of the 4 guns from G2. I mean, this is going to be hard financially. This is going to be so hard to recover from.
Let's go. Nice
Freaking massive round out by Mimi, though.
That was insane. Mimi just popped off. Holy smokes.
Let's start this party.
Yeah, the buy's not great. Light armor on everyone. A Bulldog. And then Vandals and Phantoms the rest of the way, or just Vandals, excuse me. A deep flash. They're going to try to fight for some of this long control, and this could be chaotic. Note that Mimi's just 1 point away from Seekers.
Yep, gonna fall off of this, allowing them to use all that util towards that long. The dog actually getting a lot of information, knowing that Showers is fully free is so big, but it doesn't matter because they have the double senti set up on A and 3 towards B, that they're ready to fight for this long control. Raisin Sky set up in such a perfect spot in order to counter this.
trouble. Oh. Yeah, Petra's so dead. It was just, I mean, off a hairline trigger, that's all it takes for them to go. Mimi playing in a very close spot, and Cheeky wanted that, and finding two, almost snapping onto the third, but SMG punch back, side open, it's all theirs. They should be able to get the spike down unless Glance can do something about it. Seems like she's just gonna wait for Roxy to join her though.
Almost a replay of how SMG got multi-frag after multi-frag. Mimi is now showing us that she can do that too.
Lance, surely, even if she gets a kill on Shirazi, I can't imagine expecting Kamiyu there. That's going to confirm things though. Neural theft, exposing everything that's left. You've got them both playing back in elbow. Glance on the tap on the spike, the jump spot. Stays alive just for now. But do you dare swing once more, a 1-for-1. And it went in favor of Roxy.
Goodness. That was insane. Okay, SMG had a really good pull time for a second there, but Alexi, unfortunately, giving that one to Roxy just completely ruined all of their plans. I mean, such a good hold from G2, such a good play by the two sticking together, understanding that the Cypher is going to ping everything. But again, this play was so beautiful. Mimi with the double kill, just showing them that, hey, I can do that too, but from a different spot. Yeah. Don't worry about under hookah. Yeah. Like, both teams were setting themselves up for success this round, and it's so close every single one of these rounds.
I mean, it's just been the story of the entire map, and we wouldn't have it any other way. Note here, a very different Viper wall that we've seen. It's normally been angled the other way towards Lance, this time towards A from Shirazi, but angled in a different way to give this some of the Showers control. SMG are leaning on the opposite side of the map, though.
Yeah, Mimi with the Sky ult, still holding on to it. She can definitely pop it whenever she needs. This round is super important because there are a lot of players that are 2 or 3 off of orb. So if they just get one of these players an orb this round specifically, they can go and farm them next round on a default. But Mimi kind of punishing and getting this information is super important because SMG is just walking together as a group, letting their Viper lurk.
This is nicely set up by G2 as well. Knowing that you have a Cypher who can play A, play very softly on site. Still get info in case anyone's lurking, which, as you were just saying, is the case. SMG not liking what they're seeing, what they're feeling towards B. G2 almost instantly rotating on that.
Yep, the Hero, Vandal, and Shirazi trying to get a pick, trying to get an opening, but not really finding anything. They understand that the Cypher trips are played towards A, though. That is the info that SMG has gotten. And they're going to play towards that, where they explode off of these trips. Still leaving the Sky behind, though, towards long.
And your teleporter confirming there's no one playing that way. 13 seconds left. The spike really hasn't made it very far at all. They've gotten past some of the Cypher utility. As you see the mollies, the spits, everything going up to the sky to try to deny the plant. Not able to do so, but the guns from G2 will prove to be the difference maker when all is said and done. It's just an Neri and Kamiyu left, just pistols. Now Neri has managed to upgrade a weapon, but facing 4 rifles, no shot.
Yeah, beautiful defensive setup from G2, not overextending where they don't need to. They understand that the patience that they need against this SMG team on this eco, they didn't try to force anything. They let them walk into where they wanted them to be. And I think that double Senti setup really proved to be perfect for that as well. Like, again, G2 playing wonderfully, but both these teams now with a lot of ults that can help them. I mean, we have the Viper ult. If they get on site, they put it down, round might be over.
Yeah.
Same with the Brim ult, same with the Sky ults. A lot of information, a lot of good util from both these teams to kind of play it out.
I mean, late in this first half too, you imagine this round could really be the difference maker when all is said and done. Quick timeout called from SMG, again, understanding the gravitas of the moment, if you will, realizing the tools they have at their disposal and not wanting to fumble the bag by any means.
Yeah, and I mean, normally I talk about how, like, oh, these ults are good to be like a good momentum shift, but the momentum right now is like 1-1. Like, they're just bouncing back and forth between rounds.
Yeah, it really doesn't feel like anyone has really established control. I mean, all map, to be honest. So, again, the moment that's before them right now just feels really significant.
Yeah, I mean, both these teams playing it so well, reacting together as a team, understanding that number differential and doing something about it every single time. So interesting to see how both these teams play. And honestly, I think Cypher being such a big big annoyance on that defense side is messing with SMG a little bit.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, even you saw late in that last round, they had to navigate through all of that utility, which annoying, I think is the best way to put it. Pesky, however else you want to describe it, but where do SMG go off of here? Again, we've got to note the 3 ultimates that they have to work with, considerable ones at that. With the 1-round lead that they have, this could be everything.
Yeah, G2 definitely trying to not let SMG get onto that side and put that Viper down, because it's so hard to retake, but they do have the Sky ult saving for it, hopefully. The double senti setup for G2 towards that B side. They are just giving up that long and hookah control, letting SMG use whatever util they need in order to get control. And I mean, it's working great because SMG is using so much util now. Both Sky Flashes gone towards getting that info.
Man, SMG are playing this one very carefully, very cautiously.
Got the spike.
Hoping to get a pick or something like that and then advance. This is nice though. The Seeker's used in the face of really no knowledge of what's going on. Now they decide to swing out and Mimi gets caught asleep.
Smoke.
Not quite sure what the setup was trying to be there. Mimi just being caught out, but Inari showing us again why she keeps entering and getting those kills.
30 seconds left.
You mentioned the pit so many times and how powerful it could be. There it is invested. Petra does have a decent counter if they want to go. But Athena, it looks like they've already called it. It seems like they're just going to try to save this out.
Yeah, I mean, I literally said it. Once that Viper ult goes down, the only thing that they had to save themselves from it was Sky, with that Sky ult, the Sky Dog. But unfortunately, Mimi again getting caught out on short. I don't know what information they seem to have gotten that made them move out of such good positioning from G2. But I mean, that little slip up, just small tiny mistake, mess up the round. That's how close this game is. Like little tiny mistakes like that is what's going to turn the tides for the other team. But again, really well played by SMG, getting onto site, getting that ult down. They put so much pressure towards long. They got so much info, and they knew, hey, they're playing retake because no one is contesting hookah.
Right.
No one is contesting long. We can probably just end B, try to get these trades, try to contact up, because no one can get that information to stop the Cypher or Viper kill.
Right, yeah, absolutely. And I think the crazy thing to consider is they kept the orbital strike to go into the next round, so they still have that tool. They're 1 point away from having Kahibi's ult online, so they didn't really even have to show all of their cards in order to secure that round.
Yeah, exactly. This next round might be a little bit simple for them, but as I say that, we do have Petra picking up the op, something I was just about to say that we need from G2 in order to punish these contact plays that SMG is starting to do. Such a quick and fast adaptation from G2, and yet SMG just making them play at their pace. They understand that contacting up is an option away from the Viper and Cypher.
Mimi's dog finding the first trip. If they push into this, it seems like they're scaling up now that the Viper wall went down. And yeah, that was going to give a line for Petra, but not able to land the shot. Maybe the showstopper will. It's Petra, excuse me, Sarah swings out. Inari gets both. Somehow, they get the orbital strike to deny any sort of a flood outside of showers too. One thing they haven't caught is Mimi, who's still tucked in pocket. But holy smokes, what an opening from SMG.
And Neri just dodging util, dodging bullets, dodging rockets left and right on that entry, getting 2 kills. Shirati showing why she's also part of this team, but left with a 2K. And Neri rounding the round out with 4 kills. That was an insane entry, Doug, from Inari.
Yeah.
I don't even know what I just saw.
I mean, we've got to see Inari's POV there, because that entry out onto the site was nuts. I mean, you get, again, it caught me by surprise. They swung out of short when the Viper wall went down. Yeah. So Petra had a line with the op, and maybe we won't see the POV, but we are going to see the kills come through as Inari gets the last 2 to get up to 16. That 4K was perfect. I mean, we've talked so much, Athena, about how pivotal these last 2 rounds are. Yeah. You see the SMG camp is having a good time. How pivotal these last 2 rounds have been for either squad, and SMG has just taken it by the horns.
Yeah, I mean, it's so hard because you can see that either team are having such good reads. Like, this is good Valorant to watch. Petra getting the op, she had the right idea. She knew that she had to get the line. Mimi taking that pressure towards showers. They understood that this was something that they needed to do towards the A line as long as they're playing retake on B. And unfortunately, with the op shot, wall comes up, Raised rocket flies way past wherever it is that she's trying to shoot it. And it just allows Inari to unlock whatever beast is inside of her to get those kills and to continue pushing her confidence. I don't think that's what G2 wants to do here if they want to win out.
Oh, freaking outrageous round. Kaibi's ult is online. And yeah, SMG invested the orbital strike that we talked about, but now note, Inari, given the 4K that she just got, 1 point away from showstoppers. We talked so much about how pivotal ultimates are late in games, and it just seems like SMG have positioned themselves in such a way that there's not just like one big round. They've staggered them all, so it's like a constant flow of pressure.
Yep. Double Senti set up towards A this time. The trips being towards that short and showers line. Cypher actually putting pressure in that showers with the cam. Really good information to get, but there's not much they can do because SMG walking up, contacting up short again with that wall.
That trip is going to be the first thing to dissuade. You've got to be cautious about rotating very quickly because they could flip the map, and SMG trampled forward. They've got the spike all the way up, backside at this point. G2 still have showers control, and that's going to have to be dealt with, but Shirazi, my goodness, if they don't consider Shirazi, this could be disaster.
This is insane. Players pushed up towards that spawn, and Shirazi getting the pick onto Glance, and another one on Roxy. Pushed up into spawn is not what G2 expected, but Petra catching Alexi off guard.
And Ari still with the showstopper online. As the spike is ticking away, Mimi and Petra both in such a brutal position, they can't really get out either. There was nowhere for them to go. SMG gets a map point.
Oh my goodness. What a round. SMG, again, like I'm telling you, these reads are so good. They knew immediately with that Sky Dog and Sky Flash towards showers that they saw the Cypher playing towards showers. They assumed that they were playing retake towards there. They set up Shirazi to hold the showers, and hold she did. She got those 2 kills and actually a third onto Mimi. Really well played. They knew that the players had to be rotating in from B and just sat in spawn waiting for them.
So well considered. I mean, we thought this SMG team was good yesterday, but it just seems like they're on another level today.
For sure. I mean, the 4 duelists, that looked clean. But now we can see they can actually play meta comps and be amazing at it as well.
Oh, Sarah, what? Oh, how does she still get that kill? Either way, Alexi was there on the trade. I thought she was done, given that she was caught mid-jump. But a 1-for-1, Kahibi pushing forward. Petra understanding, surely there's somebody on the other side. There's a swing, and every single kill is going SMG's way right now. It just seems like G2 cannot land a single shot. And this map, Athena, this map feels over.
This map looking so close, so rough for G2. This is a hard one to lose, Doug, because it's so close. It feels like, again, like small little mistakes, but Glance grasping at straws, getting the first kill on Kohibi, and maybe Glance and Roxy can do what they did earlier and round this one out.
Last player standing.
Glance is going to be left in a 1v3. Shirazi is weak, but she's getting spammed, she's getting peppered. There's just no shot. SMG continued their dominance. It wasn't just domestic, it wasn't just yesterday. A 1-0 lead over SMG on a beautiful performance.
Yeah, SMG again, like we said yesterday, we talked about the storyline that SMG had in order to get to this place, and they're showing that they deserve to be here. They deserved to be here last year, and they're proving that this is where they need to be right now.
Split on the other side of this break. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.